The Italian tank destroyers are some of the most armored vehicles in all of World of Tanks Blitz, featuring all completely red turrets, fantastic call-down capabilities, and even pretty solid guns. The most noticeable of the lines is the Tier 8 and Tier 10. However, I actually think that the Tier 7 is an incredibly underrated vehicle. This is the Tier 7. And what is looking at this Tier 7 right now is the WZ-113 GFT. This is a Tier 10 tank destroyer with calibrated shells on. That is around 300 millimeters of standard pen aiming at this turret, and it is completely red, upwards of 352 millimeters thick. The only weak spot on this turret is a slight little flat spot right next to the gun mantlet that is around 270 thick. Loading heat shells with this vehicle is still going to give you some red spots. There are Tier 10s that have worse turret armor than this Tier 7 tank destroyer. For example, how about we get out a vehicle like, I don't know, the IS-7, all the way up in Tier 10. And we can see that the IS-7, when loading this much heat, even has big weak spots on the turret. So now imagine, instead of having, I don't know, a Tier 10 tank destroyer aiming at the Simovente, we go down to Tier 7 and get a Tier 7 TD aiming at the vehicle, and this is what the turret looks like. This is what it looks like with premium shells. I mean, that is absolutely insane. This vehicle features some of the craziest armor in the game. The turret is basically impervious. And when you pair that to the fact that this tank also has a pretty solid gun, with upwards of 2,200 DPM, high alpha at 310, and 7 degrees of gun depression, yeah, this tank is actually incredible. How incredible? Well, let's find out. Up against us, we have an ISU, pretty nasty. That is a tank I am actually scared of. They got a Luva, Tiger 2, and Tiger PVZ-44-1. So not the strongest of heavies. I mean, the Tiger 2 is obviously very good, and the Luva's got a lot of pen, but I'm not too worried about those vehicles. They don't hit all that hard. Now you'll notice, unlike the rest of the vehicles in the line, this vehicle actually features okay mobility, reaching a top speed of 35 and having actually pretty okay power to weight. You won't find that with even the Tier 8, Tier 9, or Tier 10. They're all very immobile, traverse speed is pretty meh, and it definitely takes away a bit of the enjoyment when you're driving the vehicle. So we got our WZ-111 across, and it doesn't look like there's really all too much over here, so we're just going to poke the VZ. We're going to aim in right on his vehicle. Monk, thank you for your 320 hit points. You can see the vehicle's decent alpha, getting the job done right there. Let's just reload and aiming on the vehicle's turret again. Bonk! There you go. Long live the enemy VZ. We got the Tiger P all the way in the back, and we also got the Luva. Alright, well, let's aim it on that. I actually forgot that because I put on the high DPM gun, and the ISU shoots us. Well, it doesn't surprise me that I get bonked by the ISU. Good news is we can still finish off the enemy Luva, and you'll notice this tank also has very solid pen for a Tier 7. We can easily cut through the lower plate of the Tiger 2, although we're obviously going to shoot the turret when he's showcasing that to us, so not all too bad. And there you have it, bounce on our turret from an ISU 152. There's not a lot of tanks in the game that can get a bounce. We can see it right on the edge of the turret from an ISU. I mean, that's absolutely insane. I would love to shoot the Tiger. Unfortunate. Shell went just a bit off. One thing I will say about the vehicle is not great dispersion. Obviously, if you're going to get all this armor and all these other things, you're not going to get the best accuracy, but that's a given. We got a nice shell to the Tiger P, and all that's left is the Tiger 2. We're up to an okay amount of damage at this point. I wouldn't say anything insane, but about 2,000. Not that bad at all. The only damage we've taken as well is from an ISU, which we really couldn't have done anything about. So, at this point, it's a victory. We were able to get some good damage out, get some easy pens into Tier 8 heavies, and all that's left is a T-49. I don't think the player's AFK, but I also don't think we're going to be able to get the player. And just like that, we have a victory. Unfortunately, I did not get a shell into the T-49, but we still did okay. 2,200 damage, we blocked 900, and we got a second class. That's a pretty solid result for just a tech tree Tier 7. There's honestly so many tech trees, ranging from Tier 7 to Tier 10, that are absolutely fantastic and completely forgotten about. Look at the T-34-1, Chinese Tier 7 medium. It's probably one of the best mediums in the game tier for tier, and it's a vehicle that I have seen maybe played once in the past 30 days of this game, and it's an incredible tank. There are so many great tech trees. Now, unfortunately, they don't earn as many credits as premiums, but in terms of fun and winning, I can do just as well in a lot of tech trees as I can do in premiums. So here we are in our first, or I guess second battle. I don't know. I'm just so used to saying first at this point. We got 253 TPs in platoon up against us, and an IS-3. So they got a pretty solid tier 8 lineup. Tier 7s, they got an LTG, which I don't care about, and then a Semovente Conchakara, which is my tank, and an SU-152. Okay, well, we're going to make our way towards the midline. The thing you will have to be cautious about is you don't have the most hit points at 1200. It's still a decent chunk. It's more than a lot of tier 8 tank destroyers, but it's nothing ridiculous. So if you over-aggress in this vehicle, 3 shots from a 53 TP and I'm dead. So always keep that in mind. You usually just want to stay hull down, wait for your opponents to make mistakes and bleed them. So we see the 153 TP. Because they're in platoon, that would mean both are most likely here. And yes, we can see the other 53 TP as well. Nice 300 damage shot into his tank. Not a bad start at all. Looks like that 53 is just going to cross, and with our 59 patent off to the other side, I should be all okay. Well, let's get another shell into the 53. Just like that, we're up to 600 damage. You can see the DPM on this vehicle. While I wouldn't say anything insane, is good enough to actually get some decent damage out. Oh no, I don't really like that, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to start backing up. Let's just get a... Oh boy, oh boy. Keep backing up, keep backing up. I don't want to get shot by both the 53 TP and the IS-3, so we're just gonna chill here. That 53 was like, oh, wait a sec, that's a lot of red. Alright, well, we got the enemy 53, and he misses me. Okay. I mean, we're just chilling here for now. We can basically do that, you know. If the enemy tries to push me, they're gonna have a hard time because we're dug into a hull-down position. So the enemy 53 gets shot once by me. We've got our adrenaline, or at least we did, so we're able to load another shell into that enemy 53. Just like that, he's down to 60 health, which is obviously not all too healthy for him. So I'm gonna let that guy die. Beautiful. Now we're going to turn over towards this player. Get a nice bonking into the side armor of his tank for 320. I mean, you can start to see where this vehicle actually feels quite strong. Now, we might get penned showing this guy our lower plate, which we do. But that's okay, because we stop him from the VK100, and because of that, he's now a one-shot. We're going to out-reload him because we have more DPM, and we finish him off. Okay? Not a bad result. I'm pretty sure I heard the IS-3 fire, so I'm willing to take this risk. I'm going to aim it on his side, and 3, 2, 1. There you go. Nice 295 shot. Then we just back on up. Boom. Just like that, we're in cover. The IS-3 is no longer looking at us, so we can poke him again, and bonk. Aw, really? Well, again, one thing that's not great about this vehicle is its accuracy. It's very, very mediocre, which means that you might bounce the occasional shot here or there. Now we got the IS-3, and we're going to aim at another shell on his tank. There you go. Nice bonking. We do have the IS-3s turning towards us, the LTG's on our rear, so let's finish off the IS-3, and then let's get in the cover here. Oh boy, oh boy. Turn, 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 and we're all good. Okay, we were able to get around the corner. I was worried there for a moment we might get shot by the LTG, but we're all Gucci. Alright, let's back up. Oh, he high rolls it? That's cringe. That vehicle has 190 damage per shot, so I was hoping he wouldn't high roll the shell and we'd be able to get a decent chunk out on him, but unfortunately, as you did see, it was indeed a high roll. VK and Tiger to finish off that player, and obviously this will be a win, as there's no way a single LTG is going to be able to fight off a Tiger 2, a VK100, and everything else. And just like that, it's another victory. So, another great example of this tank's capabilities. It's got so much turret armor. And sure, if you play it like I did and drive it out of hull down positions, you will be penned. But notice how that 53 TP looked at me. It was like, hold on, wait a second, I can't pen that, it's all red. He backed up and went somewhere else. The enemy 56 looked at me, said, holy crap, it's all red, and looked away. That is a great example of this vehicle's armor. It is just insane when you're hull down. Now granted, it's got a massive lower plate, but it's not that hard to hide. Even the upper plate's around 230 thick, and it's just a super fun vehicle. So I've been enjoying this tank quite a bit while playing it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video as much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.